The Miami Dolphins and Detroit Lions faced off today at Ford Field. This came after 2 days of joint practices which saw the Lions dominate day 1 and the Dolphins regroup and come out with a far better performance on day 2. But scores are not settled on the practice field. They are settled in the arena. So settle it they did. Miami was not going to be denied this victory after the national media frenzy for the last 3 days had painted them as little more than an outmatched junior varsity team playing with the big boys on campus. I, for one, am glad the week went as it did. Pain and embarrassment can be great lessons and motivators. And it looks like lesson learned.
Oh, God damn it, I'm sick of getting hit by this kid.
Fun aside, here's a quick recap of the actual on-field action from Saturday's game. D. Eskridge kicked off the Dolphins scoring early. First, he made a nice play to convert on a 3rd and 12, and then followed that up with a touchdown 2 plays later. Racing down the sideline on a short pass on a 2nd and goal from the 11, and then willing himself to stay on the right side of the pylon before his knee came down on the chalk. Zach Wilson started the game for the Dolphins, but I found him underwhelming and unimpressive. He seems to do everything in panic mode. Sometimes the adrenaline of that panic delivers with a strong throw for a decent gain, but more often than not, it causes errant throws and bad decisions, including a severely underthrown bomb to Eskridge, which was almost picked off. Then he had a disastrous 3rd down strip sack taken off the books thanks to a face mask penalty, which gifted him and the Dolphins a 1st down. But Wilson would get sacked again on 4th and 4 deep in the red zone while again holding on to the ball too long, turning the ball over on downs and ending Miami's scoring threat. On the plus side, Taj Washington put on a scrappy performance when given opportunities, digging for everything he could get, every time he was given a chance to touch the ball. He is making a strong push to make the final 53. But Miami would not let the energy and fight they were bringing dim. After the sack and turnover on downs, Grayson Murphy returned the favor with a sack of his own on Allen. But the Lions roared back. Cornell Armstrong gave up a touchdown on the sideline late in the 2nd quarter, but he was in tight coverage. Isaac Tessallah just made a great aggressive catch, displaying strong hands. That made the score 14-7 heading into halftime. To start the 2nd half, the Dolphins stuffed the Lions deep in their own territory and forced a punt. A.J. Henning responded with another nice return. Enter Quinn Ewers. Early on, Ewers looked much more composed than last week, leading them down the field and ending his first drive by delivering a nice pass to Theo Wease Jr. for a 15-yard score early in the 3rd quarter. He seemed to be much more in control with his decision-making and accuracy than Zach Wilson. On the ensuing drive, the Lions drove down the field and appeared to score, but the play was yet again negated by another holding penalty. They settled for a 33-yard field goal. Jake Bailey delivered a 57-yard punt after Miami was stopped on a disastrous 3rd down screen play that went absolutely nowhere, with Lions right there to immediately make the stop in the backfield. Early in the 4th, Ewers, along with some strong running by Ollie Gordon II, drove the Dolphins down the length of the field. And on 2nd and goal, Ewers bootlegged to his left and found Theo Wease again for the score, giving Miami back a 4-point lead with 12:11 left in before the end of the game. On the ensuing drive, there was a rare Dolphin sighting. Cam Smith delivered a strong hit on the sideline to sack Hendon Hooker on a 3rd down play, but there was a flag on the play, and Mike McDaniel chose to give his 3rd down unit some more work. Pressure came fast and caused a misfire by Hooker across the middle of the field. So they held and forced the punt. On the next drive, Ewers connected with Wease again, who made an acrobatic catch for a chunk play. Newly signed Aaron Shamklin then broke a nice run for 26 on the following play, making the most of his opportunity. But then an offensive pass interference call turned it into 1st and 20. 2 plays later, Ewers delivered yet another nice completion to Wease on a 3rd and 9 for the conversion. Weeze definitely took advantage of his opportunities to shine and get noticed today, making a strong push to fill out a deep wide receiver room. Continuing the drive, the Dolphins' running game dented the Lions' defense a few times to drive deep into the red zone. But then Ewers misfired on a 3rd and goal play after rolling out to his right. And Sanders came on to kick the field goal to add another 3 to Miami's lead. Even though Ewers fell short on that last drive, I found his performance encouraging, especially considering he was shortchanged this week, having received minimal reps during the 2 days of joint practices, making his box score numbers of 11 of 17 for 116 yards with 2 scores, and no interceptions even more impressive. On the next and final drive, late in the 4th with the Lions down by 4, Hooker drove his team down the field with a nice pass to Meeks and 2 more to Ronnie Bell, keeping the drive alive with some timely running to get the first down and another 17-yarder to Meeks. But then Miami added an exclamation point to a day on which they refused to be denied. Ethan Robinson launched himself into the air in front of Hooker's pass and sucked it right in for the interception. Game over. The Dolphins claimed their victory. In a nutshell, the Dolphins did what they needed to do to get that foul taste out of their mouths before it festered. They showed grit, determination, and toughness. Sure, there was some sloppy preseason play, but I think they had their minds more focused on a more primal retribution and confidence boost. Some players shined, like D. Eskridge, Taj Washington, Theo Wease, and Ollie Gordon, and some showed improvement over last week, like Quinn Ewers in our 3rd down defense, and even a noticeable play by Cam Smith, which was a sight for sore eyes. But some players did not seize their opportunities, like Zach Wilson and Jalen Wright. These are my first impulses after freshly watching the game, but a more detailed look later will bring much more clarity to the gaps I've left, like McClendon, Biggers, Grant, and Jordan Phillips, whose names I did notice regularly, and a closer look at the offensive line's performance. But for now, let's enjoy the win. Next up are joint practices next week with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the final game of the preseason next Sunday at 1 o'clock before cut day arrives, when some will see their dreams come true and some will face another obstacle to overcome on their journey. One more game and then the rubber bullets go live. The season is almost here. On a personal note, I could really use some more subscribers to keep this show rolling, so hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't. It would be much appreciated. Until next time, fins up!